Today we are taking a look at a Realsteel G5 Metamorph Compact in Blue Intense color. And this is some really intense blue color. So if you've been following my latest videos, you have seen that I recently got a mail call consisting of 10 folders. I'd say that more than half of them are really high-end folders that cost several $100s, but there were also some other folders that are a lot more budget-friendly or affordable of sorts, this being one of them. And the reason, or one of the reasons why I wanted to go with some less expensive folders is because I feel like you don't really have to always pay, top dollars, like several $100s for a good folder. You will get, different types of material, handle material, blade steels, etc. when you go with a more budget-friendly version of a knife or folder. But that does not mean it's not going to be a useful tool. So this one is, actually I'm not quite sure about the price, but let's say this one is $60 or $70. Still not super cheap, of course, but if you compare it to some of the other knives I recently made videos of, like the Re8 or the Integral from V-Knife, the Mini Synergy, etc., this one is a lot cheaper. That being said, this does look and feel quite nice. So let's take a look at this one. As you can see, it is a front flipper, and the handle is blue aluminum instead of titanium. Aluminum is not a bad thing, to be honest. We do see that in expensive knives, such as the, for example, the Microtech SOCOM Elite, or no, is it Alpha? That is the actual folder. Well, those uses aluminum handles as well, or handle material. But let's take a quick look at this one. Actually, we can see the blade centering right away here, and you can see that it is pretty much fully centered, so that is a nice thing. And do look at this super nice blue intense shine here. It's quite a vivid color of sorts. Anyway, let's take a look at the actual knife here now. So, like I said, it's a front flipper, very easy to flip open. I know some people might not like the front flipper design, the general design, but it can be done differently, and this one is done just nice and right, in my opinion. So let's go over the specs real fast here. First off, the blade steel used here is VG-10. I don't have any folder with that particular steel, but I know it is a fairly decent or good steel used by a lot of different makers, but I've seen it mostly on fixed blades, to be honest. I know, for example, that Feldkniven uses VG-10, but they also use a laminated version of it, perhaps. But regardless, this is a steel that should hold up quite well. It should have a pretty decent edge retention, and it should be an overall good steel if you look after it, sort of. So let's take a look here. The total length of the knife here is 180 millimeters with a blade length of 77 millimeters. The close length is 105 millimeters. So if you have if you have a few reference knives, you should know that this is not really the biggest knife, but it's also not the smallest one. It's somewhere in between, I'd say, at least if I look at my own collection of folders. The blade thickness here, or the spine thickness, is 3 millimeters, which I think suits this design quite well. You can also see that the blade design here is a drop point design. We also have a, let's see how well it can be seen here, but yeah. We also have this swedge grind here. We also have a slightly, or yes, no, super slightly reinforced tip here. It can't really be seen, to be honest. It is that fine, I'd say. We also have some jimping here, which is actually quite good jimping. It's not too aggressive, but it's not too mild either. So it is functional, which I like, because that is, in my opinion, why you should add jimping, not just for aesthetic reasons or whatever, but for actual usage of sorts. Let's see, it doesn't, let's see, the flipping is quite nice, opens real nice, great detent, and the closing mechanism is not really a drop shot, but it's not far behind either, so it is, yeah, I'd say it is really nice. No issues with opening or closing of this knife. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, but we do have a liner lock on this particular model, with I'd say around 15 to 20% lockup, which is good enough, absolutely good enough. You do have a very standard-like pocket clip here. No Damascus pocket clip or any fancy design or anything, but a highly functional pocket clip, which is what I think most people prefer in daily use or for their everyday carry items or folders. Sometimes a simple design can be better than the more high-end designs. I will say that much. I can give you an example later on. But this is a highly functional pocket clip, and it is, as you can see here, it is protruding a bit here, and it does feel like it should not be super nice in hand. But the thing is, and that was my main concern actually when I got this knife, and but fact is that it feels, you don't really feel it when you have it in hand. I can't fully explain why that is, but that is just the way it is. In fact, there are no, I can't feel any area that will give me a hot spot. There is sort of maybe a tad bit sharp of an edge here on the very inside that if you press it hard enough, that you can feel. It's not super comfortable, but not a great issue, to be honest. Not for me at least. And like I also said, I have size 10 in gloves, fairly large hands, but this is easily a full 4-finger grip. So what more can we say right now? I do like this blade design a lot. I was surprised to see, or not really surprised, but I initially didn't know that it was an Ostap design, and I know that WeKnife is coming out now with some knife called WeKnife Peer or something like that, which is also an Ostap design. So that did take me a bit by surprise, but I do like the design quite a lot, and super light knife. Did I mention the weight of it? Maybe I did not. Maybe I should check that up. Or I'm gonna have the weight in the beginning of the video regardless, so you can get that information right there. But it is a very light carry, probably one of my lightest knives at that. Then again, it is a thin blade thickness, and it is aluminum, which weighs not much at all. Probably mention, and this is probably kind of important, I guess, that this is an exclusive model from Realsteel. I think this is a Lamnia exclusive. So if you are trying to find this one and you can't find it, then it could be because of the fact that it can only be bought over at Lamnia, which is of course where I got mine then. So maybe we should do some slicing, as I always do these days in my videos. Running out of magazine paper. I do have a few more magazines somewhere, but let's do some paper slicing as we always do. So that slicing was actually very impressive. It's probably sharper than some of my more expensive folders, if I should be 100% honest, and I guess I should be that. Let's do some additional slicing here. It's like a razor, to be honest. Scary sharp. And that was pretty interesting. Very impressive. Very impressive, to be honest. Yeah. So Realsteel G5 Metamorph Compact Intense Blue Lamina exclusive, aluminum handle, VG-10 steel, OSTAP design, liner lock, really nice action. Simple, yet elegant, and very functional. Not bad. Oh, and if I forgot to mention it, zero blade play, no lock stick. It just plain works. So I guess you can find cheaper folders that are still quite nice and functional, like this very one.